Yo, 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 can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
There we go. Yep, yep, yep.
Word.
All right, we on live
We
on
live. We live, baby.
live right now.
Okay. All right.
Making sure everything look good on the live right now in the YouTube space. Let me make sure.
Okay. Yeah, man, because Streamlabs or StreamYard, whatever we was using, bro, they was not our friend. We was glitching like something from that movie Tron, bro. It was crazy.
All right,
Tron glitching.
but no, I'm on my tablet, man. Just to make sure everything looks good and I don't see no stuttering, no lagging. I'm not in breaking. You know what I'm saying? You
Just
know,
you know what the
you know what I'm saying. There we
all
go.
that.
All right, cool.
For sure, for sure. We are here. What's going on, good people? I'm Arya the King.
I'm Big G, the bearded one.
This is the Geek Salad Podcast, and today we're gonna be talking about some things. First of all, let me ask you this question before you let us know the stuff that we got to talk about. When did it become cool to be a chatty patty? Because I was under the impression some years ago with the great Dame Dash himself was on the Breakfast Club. He had the whole back and forth with Charlamagne and DJ Envy. That
Mhm.
being a chatty patty was something that was frowned upon in the
Right.
man space. But apparently it's not because it's the norm now. What you think about that, man?
You know what? I have to blame Dame Dash for, pretty much creating the term chatty patty. As far as who is responsible for that now, this might be wild take. I blame Joe Budden to a degree. I blame Harlem niggas to a degree.
Show.
Because boy, when niggas get a hold of something juicy, no pause intended.
Yeah.
Um, it's just word vomit. Just I gotta I, I gotta make it normalized now. I
I
gotta
don't
normalize it now.
I don't mind Joe because Joe is the media now. I put Joe in the same category as Nori. Like they ain't rappers no more.
True,
They're
true.
officially the media now. So they're doing what
Okay,
media people are supposed to do. But
okay,
I look at somebody like Dame Dash who was so vehemently denying that a man should be a chatty patty and how it's not cool. And
right.
now every time you cut on YouTube, you go on YouTube on your phone, Dame
Mhm.
Dash, and side note, all the best to Dame because he's not looking great these days, man. He has some kind of
Mhm.
infection in his eye, and his teeth, the teeth situation, his teeth was falling out, bro. Like he down
I
bad.
got
So
it.
all the best to Dame Dash. But it's like
Mhm.
every time you cut on YouTube, you see him talking about somebody else. It's always Jay. Jay's name stays in this man's mouth. And I'm just thinking to
Yeah,
myself,
yeah,
how does anybody have this thought that Jay-Z owes this man anything? At this point in time, after all of the
right.
years long campaigning, speaking down on Jay's name, how can
Yeah,
anybody think that Jay owes Dame something?
yeah, man. At this point, you know, granted, they don't make history together, and still to this day, man, I wish Rockefeller was in a better place overall. Maybe not as a music brand, but as a company, kind of like Rock Nation, right? I don't expect Dame to really want anything from Jay, but just the pure fact that he keeps mentioning Jay's name and so many random things like him, Jay and Leah, Jay and this chick, or Jay and his business. Like you can tell that's a sign of either Dame feels really hurt by what Jay did, or maybe he feels as if he should be in the same place financially as Jay? Or does he really think that Jay did him wrong some way? Which, we would never know what truly happened between all three of them. But out of the three, Biggs and Jay is still rocking. So who's the issue at this point? Is it Dame? Is it Jay? But you won't even hear Jay talk about it. He's doing big things, but Dame has to be a chatty patty using his own terms against him. and talk about his misgivings. And it's not giving Dame. Dame used to give off, pure confidence, pure Harlem, New York confidence. Now it's like, all right, my business that's out in the street, I got to file for bankruptcy. I'm 25 million in debt. Let me go ahead and pop up on social media. And it's not giving me Dame from the 2000s and the 90s
Yeah, bro, he need to just pivot because it seemed like the only thing he does is talk about Jay-Z on podcasts.
a lot.
Why not? Here's an idea. Why not start your own damn podcast and give like background and your opinion of what happened, your events. I mean, your take on the events that happened that led to the Rockefeller downfall. Because I know off rip, you could probably get everybody that was in state property, or at least a few of those people. You could
Hmm.
probably get Memphis Bleak, maybe that's Jay's man, but
Right.
Myth, because he started his own podcast too. I think he would actually be down to be on a podcast if Dame would have started a podcast. Like, be enterprising with this stuff, man. Like, I've seen so many artists and so many people who were quote unquote popping back in the day who
Mm.
cooled off and have been able to reinvigorate their careers and find a whole other lane and another source of money by going the podcast route. Look at Cam and Mace.
Oh yeah.
They signed a big deal with that podcast. Like, I don't know if it was a year ago, it might have been a year and a half, 2 years ago, but
Mhm.
they making bread off of that. And it's like then you could use that to advertise whatever else you're doing. Dame likes to do movies and
Mhm.
different things like that. That would be a
Yep.
platform to push your movies out there. But he don't want to do that. He just want to be bitter and talk about Jay-Z, even though I ain't heard Jay say one word about this man in decades.
Right.
Not one word. I'm sure behind closed doors, conversations happen, what have you. But as far as in the public eye, I haven't heard Jay mention this man's name once.
You know
So
what's funny?
this is what it is.
It's the old saying, success is the best form of revenge, right? And clearly, I think Jay kind of personifies that. Now, he's a billionaire, right? Or I guess he's a 2.5 billionaire right now. I think he is the highest or the richest musician as of this year, right?
Yeah.
And you know, not only is Dame bashing him, but on the internet, I feel like it's a it's a trend to like bash on Jay. I mean, the internet loves to bash on Jay. They wish for him to be locked up like Diddy for shit that they can't confirm, or
Right.
they don't like the way he did the whole NFL thing. They don't like the way, now that he's older, he doesn't rap the same like back in the 90s, or they don't like the way he's growing dreads like Basquiat. Like, why are you, growing your hair out to look like a gay painter? You know what I'm saying? It's just
Shout out 50
it's a
Cent.
trend to bash on Jay-Z when this man don't even really talk unless he wants to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then and even right now, a little sidebar here. I guess he's building that casino or trying to build a casino in Times Square. And there's some people that's giving pushback. You know what I'm saying? But on the outside looking in, Times Square is a huge tourist, attraction. And if that thing can be built, that's another notch. And honestly, as a black man, I'll give him my hats off to Jay for even being in those rooms to where he can do those type of things. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
I feel like as a culture, it's just cool to bash on greatness. You know what I'm saying? Or to
Yeah.
it's it,
I
it's
hate
it's
it though.
cool to downplay what somebody has struggled. Like, the thing that we do a lot, it's like, yo, he's down with them people to be that rich.
Yeah, I hate that so much, man. I hate it because it's rather than talk to the person who is successful and maybe get some nuggets from them that you could apply to your own life,
Hmm.
it's so much easier to bash the person. It's like people are so insecure and they want to pull you down to their level so they feel, comfortable. Because if you in a room and I'm in a room and I'm not happy with where I'm at, and I see you shining, I see you being blessed, I see, you got the jury on and you doing good in whatever avenue that you
Hmm.
pursuing, it
Hmm.
makes me feel insecure. So rather than come to you and say, you know what, I see that you were successful here, how can I do A, B, and C? They would rather just try to pull that person down so they'll feel comfortable. And I hate that so much, bro. Like it makes my butt itch. Like I hate it, man. Like I hate that. Like when you're in your 20s, okay, it's still bad, but I get it. But when you like a grown up, you 30s,
Hmm.
40s, 50s, and you still like that, it's like, bro, I feel like you just wasted your life. And you wasted an
Right.
opportunity. Because
Right.
what is Jay doing that Dame couldn't have done? You saw the areas and the lanes that Jay took. Dame, if he doesn't alienate his relationships, why could he not be in a similar position?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
even if he didn't reach that level, how could anybody turn a deaf ear to him when he comes and asks for like $1 million or something? You friends with Jay, or you could have been friends with Jay. You could have been friends with Biggs. You could have been friends with Cam and Mason. You could have been friends with Kanye, who up until a couple of years ago and him going insane was richer than all of them. But yet
Yeah.
he couldn't even get a loan. Forget just giving a gift of money. He couldn't get a loan from these people.
Mm.
So, what did you do to alienate your relationship with these people who are worth 10 millions on the low end and billions on the high end to where you in a position where just $1 million would probably change your entire outlook of your financial situation and you can't even reach out to them for that?
Hey, man, he's a holler nigga. He's a boss. Remember that conversation? He's a
I'm a
boss.
boss. My
You know,
son has these cookies. He sells cookies. I was like, dang, what are you?
he's a
I think
boss.
I think that Breakfast Club interview was the start of the end, bro. I
Yeah.
think that's what because he was this thing was first of all, he was mad that Charlemagne was wearing a hat with the paper plane on it, which is like Jay-Z like
I
line
forgot
of paper
about that.
planes or whatever.
Uh-huh.
First of all, he was mad at that. But then second, he snapped off because Charlemagne and DJ Envy have a job. Nigga, you need to get a job. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
ownership is cool, but
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta be a hybrid in these streets, man. I'm a hybrid. Like I got a couple of businesses that I run and I make money outside of my 9 to 5 job.
Hmm.
But damn sure better believe that I also got a 9 to 5 job. My 9 to 5 helps me to put money in these businesses that then make me more money. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a
Right.
hybrid sometimes. This
Hmm.
nigga Dame out there talking some. My son makes cookies, and he had the cookies too, which was I thought was just hilarious. He's just walking around
Yeah.
with random cookies in his pocket, but it is what it is, man. I hope Dame gets the help that he needs
Yeah,
because
man.
he doing
I
bad right
mean,
now.
Dame is a hustler. He did try to create his own channel platform, and I try to look for it, but I can never get it. And I guess it's American New Network is his YouTube channel. I don't know what else they do, and he's still trying to do movies too. So he's trying. I think it's just a string of bad investments that got him in debt, or I guess rich debt. You know what I'm saying? And he's trying to find a way out of it. But like in that interview, it's just the past is coming back in a bad way, and it seems to follow him. But hey man, I know that the beat between him and Cam, like that's some Harlem shit right there, and it's just it's Cam is up on a rise along with Mace, and Cam is looking good right now out here and on the media platforms. It is what it is. It's a great sports talk show. He got Talk with Flea. That's like his own like podcast interview platform. He got the Pink. the pink horse shit, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The pink pills, whatever. I mean, Cam is doing good in life right now.
Yeah.
And to see Dame being on top at one point to where he is now, aside from the help shit, it's sad, man. It's sad,
It
man.
is. Like you gotta do better, bro. You gotta do better. I feel like when you reach a certain level, you gotta start to move differently.
Mm,
And you can't be out here just screaming on people like you at the top. Like, you know what I really think happened too? One of the things, and we can move on after this. When Biggs went to jail, and
mm,
I think that kind of was the start of Rockefeller like turning the kind of like the downfall of that when Biggs went to jail. Because this is what I think happened. I think that Jay, Dame, and Big, it's like it seemed like they were so far from the streets because when we
oh
was
yeah.
coming up, like in the early 2000s, late 90s, Rockefeller was like the label. You know what I'm saying? One of the
Mm.
top two labels. You got Rockefeller, then you probably had what, like, I don't know, No
Bad
Limit was
Boy,
still doing stuff. Bad Boy
Rough
was on top
Riders.
then too.
Uh,
Um,
what is it? Cash,
Cash. This is
Cash and Money.
just when Death Row kind of, was going down. But all of
Yeah.
this stuff happened within a few years. Like Reasonable Doubt came out 9-6. The Rock was broken up by like '03, '03,
Damn.
'04. It,
Yeah.
it it just seemed like it was
Oh, really?
longer than it was, but
Oh,
it
three, oh, four?
really it wasn't that long. The Rock
Damn.
was gone by '03, '04. So you talking about
Mm.
maybe a solid 6 or 7 years? It just seemed like it
Yeah.
was a long time. So
Right.
really what I think happened, I think this was part of it at least. I think when Biggs got locked up, I think
Hmm.
Jay had maybe 1 foot out of the streets, but maybe 1 foot still in. And I
Yeah.
think Biggs getting pinched was like, you know what? Let me just fully go ahead and put on this business suit and completely get out this life and just be on my corporate stuff. And I think Dame was still kind of like on, I'm gonna be in the streets, kinda, but I'm gonna be
Oh,
the one financing the deals. I'm not
hmm.
gonna be the actual, foot soldier guy, and
Right.
then 1 foot was in the entertainment industry. And I think he never fully pivoted from that. You know what I'm saying? And I think when he did it, by the time he realized he should have did it, I think it was too late. And I think Jay was already up here, and
Hmm.
Dame's chances was like low because he kept making these stupid investments. I don't even want to call them stupid. I'm just gonna say they were investments that ain't work out. Because when Rockefeller dissolved, I think he had something like $40 million.
Mm.
But he tricked it all off. Bad
Mm.
business investments,
Whew.
multiple houses, like in Italy. What are you
Mm.
doing, bro? You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Your cash cow is Jay. Jay is gone. You gotta move different, my nigga. You
Right.
need a new farm animal or whatever, because your cash cow ain't here no more. But it
Yeah,
is what it
man.
is.
Yeah, man. But hey, man, to all of those involved, man, nothing but the best. Key takeaway. uh, chatty patties run the world because we kind of chatty patties too, not on each other, but on shit that we see out in the world. We talk about it. You know what I'm saying, to a sense, but never about amongst each other business or each other's income like that. That's when you're being a true chatty patty. So people out there, don't be a chatty patty.
Yeah. Ridiculous, man. Ridiculous. But speaking of chatty patties, this man
Woo-hoo!
Thugger. This
Chatty
man,
Patty Award of the Year
I
goes to
mean, yo.
Young Thugger.
Young Thug Chatty Patty of the Year award. Apparently, while he was locked up, he had a conversation with one of his associates, and he talked about pretty much everybody in the industry that he didn't like. Which, side note, and if y'all don't know this, man, number one, don't do anything that's going to get you locked up. But if
Mhm.
you do find yourself locked up, understand that all calls are monitored for quality assurance purposes, nigga. Like
Right,
nothing you say
right.
is between you and the person that you're having a conversation with. The government is listening, and you got to know, especially if you're a famous person,
For sure.
anything you say is going to make it
Mhm.
out eventually. It's going to make it out eventually. But do we have what he was actually talking about?
Oh man, it's so much, man. It's like every day somebody is at our home. It's like, you know what? Let me go ahead and release what he said about Glorilla, what he said about Kendrick, what he said about Drake, what he said about J. Cole, what he said about NBA YoungBoy, what he said about Gunna, about Little Baby. It's just every single day it's like an inside look into like the wire or the odds. You know what I'm saying? It's just every single day it's something new. So to kind of give everybody a rundown of what he's been saying and about whom. So these are phone calls with either with 21 Savage, his girl Mariah the Scientist, or just other niggas, right? Uh, what kind of set things off was about the whole Gunner thing of how, Gunner is snitch, Gunner is a rat, I hold his, I paid 50,000 for bots to make him go number one. So you're not really a top artist because I made you a top artist, you know, saying how, Gunner, pretty much I signed him because of a hood dude in the street. Like, yo, son gonna make sure he's good. And now that he's out in the world, doing his thing, he's a rat, quote unquote. He talks about Kendrick. He's mad that Kendrick wasn't on his business is business album. He's saying like, yo, how come you don't do songs with, niggas like me? I'm the glue to the rap game. And you don't put nobody on, that Keem shit and go nowhere. That aged badly from what, because Kendrick has put other niggas on his album. GNX, one of the biggest hip hop albums of last year. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Pretty much saying how, Kendrick would never be as big as Drake because, Drake puts everybody on for the most part. He talks about Glorilla, how he wouldn't even hit that big, that big-headed girl before she get everything done, back then, anybody even want to touch that. And then to me, on a personal level, because I love these two guys so much, he talks about Andre 3000 how he doesn't even know like two songs about him, which he said before he don't know much about Outkast or Andre 3000 though. But the fact that even him, he ain't put nobody on. Now, people out there who don't know history, and feel free to like chime in. Outkast is, if not one, or it's not the, but one of the biggest rap groups ever in history. They are pretty much like the beginnings of the Atlanta hip hop sound. And not only were they so popular, so great at what they did, and Andre is such a phenomenal, revered MC as well, artist, period. You know what I'm saying? They put on the Dutcher family. They put on Killer Mike. They put on Future. You know what I'm saying? That entire collective was splintered from Outkast. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he has done so many random features that were shit damn near great, to me it kind of behooves me that Young Thug don't know about Outkast, the legacy which is Outkast.
Man, I ain't trusting no nigga that wear a dress. I'm sorry.
That's
Sorry,
it.
not sorry. It is what
That's
it is,
the
man.
bottom line.
I do not trust you. Okay?
Mhm.
If you can't even have the sense to be at a store, and I'm sure it won't just a little $10 dress from Maxway. That dress probably costs $5,000. If you out there
Mhm.
at a Gucci store, at a Fendi store,
Right.
and you a dude, and your first thought when you see that $5,000 dress is, you know what? Not I want to buy this for my lady. She would look sexy in that. Your first thought is, you know what?
I'm gonna sling this.
This would be hot. Like, I'm gonna kill these niggas with this dress. No,
Nah,
no,
man.
I don't trust them. I think he's shown himself to be a liar numerous times. I think, and on top of the phone call being leaked a couple of weeks ago, his interrogation tape got leaked.
Yeah,
And
that
this
too.
man talked about his homie that supposedly, allegedly shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus.
Hmm.
And he claims that he didn't tell, but he a
Yeah.
100% said that this man, he didn't say he shot up the tour bus. I give him that. But instead of just pleading the fifth, instead of just saying, you know what, I want to talk to my lawyer. I want to
Yep.
wait till my lawyer gets here.
Right.
This man has diarrhea of the mouth. And
Chirping.
he says, you know what? I don't know if he shot up the thing or not. I asked him if he shot up the tour bus. He said no. So he said he ain't do it, so he ain't do it. All he did was he would bring them drugs.
That's that's still a form. You see, hold on. Let me take a quick break so you can get back to the story, man.
Nigga.
Street niggas. Can you please let us know what is the new updated rules like what is the amendment to the street codes when it comes to snitching? Boosie is saying, anytime you talk to the police, that's snitching. You know, Young Thug is saying whenever you point out a gang, that's snitching. People are saying if you don't go to jail, if somebody talks about you, that's not snitching. What is snitching, man?
Well,
Somebody
first
tell
of
me.
all, I'm gonna tell you what it is. But first of all, let's just keep it a stack. First of all, me and you, we civilians. So don't do
True,
no crimes around me.
true.
Okay? I'm telling on you. Okay? I'm not
Yep.
in the street life. I ain't signed up for that. I got a
Right.
family to take care of.
Mhm.
I'm not illegal. I pay my taxes.
Okay.
You're going to jail. Him, your honor, not your honor. It was him. I'm snitching. Let's get that out the way.
Right.
Second of all, these dudes is just moving the goalposts on what is snitching and what is not snitching. Because even if you're going to say that you didn't tell them that your homeboy shot up the bus, which is what they were after. They were trying to get the person who shot out Lil Wayne's tour bus, right?
Hmm.
If you say that that man sold drugs to somebody, you're going to tell me that this man, who obviously is a drug dealer on top of a person who shot up the tour bus,
Hmm.
what if he gets pinched for selling drugs? What if he gets pinched for selling drugs? Now they got you on tape saying that this man corroborating a story that this man sells drugs. Nigga, if that's not snitching,
Hmm.
ain't nothing snitching.
Would it make a difference if they told him that we already got him on a drug charge?
No, because they cops lie all the time.
That exactly.
They lie all the cops. Cops is ever heard of a dirty cop? This is dirt. They be lying. So the
Hmm.
only way that you're truly 100% not snitching is if you don't say nothing, or if you're gonna say something, whatever bad they saying that the person did, man, G would never sell drugs. G shoot up a tour bus. That's not the G that I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's the only talking you could do,
Right.
and it
Hmm.
be not because if somebody considers that snitching and cooperating, then you just I don't know what to tell you. That's crazy. But this man told the cops that his homeboy sells drugs. So it is what it is, man. I don't know. I again, this go back to if this nigga think he bad because he got a $5,000 dress on, that's not the nigga to trust. He can't even trust his fashion sense. So I definitely don't trust nothing he got to say.
How do you feel about him talking about J. Cole though?
What do you say about Cole?
J. Cole will never sell as many albums as NBA YoungBoy.
It's probably true, but it's because of market share. NBA YoungBoy has 35 albums out. My guy, I cannot name one NBA. Forget an NBA YoungBoy album. I can't name one NBA YoungBoy song. Like full stop. I
Word.
can't. but that's not my generation.
Oh yeah.
That's not what I like. To me, that's not even music. And just the sheer volume of music he's putting out lets you know, it tells you something about the quality of the music too.
Oh
But
yeah.
if you
Right.
somebody that's 15, 16, 17 years old and you into that type of stuff, this guy is your messiah, you know? So he got those people in a chokehold, but I can't name no NBA YoungBoy stuff. And it is what it is. So you got to ask
Mhm.
yourself: is it all about your record sales, or is it all about you actually putting out a product that you like? Me
Right.
personally, if I can put out what I consider good quality music and make money, I'm
Mhm.
gonna go that route. But I'm not gonna just put out any kind of mess just to be popular. Like that's lame to me.
Yeah, I'm looking at his stats. So he surpassed E40, which he has about
Ooh.
33 entries into Billboard, right?
Yeah,
He has 8 studio albums, 20 mixtapes, 3 compilations, and 3 EPs, right? Now, my
yeah,
daughter, she is going to see Young Boy in October. So,
yeah,
I'm driving like, so what's, me being an old head, this is like the most old head nigga shit I did in a long time, right? So, so I'm driving around, I'm like, so Young Boy, huh? What's he about? What is NBA Youngboy about, right?
yeah,
So she was saying, early on, like he was on fire, but now his music isn't really the greatest, but because he puts out so much, he's just feeding his core, you
yeah.
know. Um, she said that he's like the king of the YNs. Like all the YNs
Sounds
love
as
Youngboy.
accurate. I would say that's accurate.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, so his new album, is that any good? Like, nah, not really. He's on this emo thing now for the most part.
Yeah,
So it's just, and again, to what you were saying, to me, it feels like it's more based about quantity than it is quality. So can you really gauge his his popularity to great music, or is it just because he puts out so much? Is it really sticking? Because like you were saying, like nothing really, penetrates my ears. You know what I'm saying? And like I don't hear anything great from him. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm on radio, if I'm on YouTube, if I'm on Spotify, I don't hear anything from NBA Youngboy that I'm like, yo, that shit's pretty dope.
yeah.
It, it,
I'm like this, bro, because even though I'm in my 40s, like I have a well-rounded view of music. And my ears are well-rounded.
yeah.
So I don't care. You could be a dude 25, 26 years old, but if you're putting out what I would consider quality music, I mess with it if it sounds good.
Hmm.
But it has to pass the is it quality test because I don't like somebody 17, 18. I don't blame them for not having a discerning ear yet because I didn't have that either at 17, 18.
Right.
You
Hmm.
haven't been here long enough.
Wait a minute.
But
Wait a minute. I
go ahead,
got
go
it.
ahead.
I think our ear was a bit more seasoned at that age compared
A
to these
hundred
niggas
percent.
now.
It was 100% because we came up in an era where you had to have talent in order to get a record deal. Because that was the thing. The big thing was whether you were a rapper, singer, whatever, you
Hmm.
wanted to get out the hood and you wanted to get a record deal. If you got a record deal, you could get some money, you could get some notoriety, some fame, move your family out the projects. You know what I'm saying? On some good time stuff, right? But now, all you need is a laptop, a homeboy that does beats, and a look. It's like if you look the part,
Hmm.
you got $100 chain on with a bunch of fake diamonds in it, and you got a popping song that's popping in your area,
Right.
you could take off, but you don't have to have the talent. In the 90s, even early 2000s, you had to have the talent or they won't go put you on. I'm not gonna act like it wasn't no whack music back then too. You
Oh, of
did
course.
have
Yeah.
people, some people was whack,
Right.
but whack wasn't the norm.
Hmm.
Now it's so flooded, and just like we were talking about NBA YoungBoy, How you put out 35 albums and you ain't even has he even been out 10 years yet? Has this man been out for 10
Yo,
years? I
I
don't think
want
he's been
to.
out 10 years.
That's a good question. Let me Google that, man. Let me.
4 albums a year, my nigga. And that's just albums. That's not even talking about times he might have did like, like a feature here, a feature there, whatever. That's too much music. It's no way that it's quality. So it's like coming up with now not having to be actually good at singing, be good at rapping. If you got
Mhm.
the look and you got a catchy song, you can get on. That's how it is nowadays. And it won't like that when we was coming up. The only way that you would have got on if you was a whack rapper in the 90s is
Yeah,
if your homeboy started the label because he was a drug dealer and he just needed a way to clean his money. So he started a record label like every drug dealer was doing back then. And he put his homeboy on. That's different. But if you actually was gonna get a major label deal and be somebody that people was like, yeah, I can't wait for such and such album to come out, you
right.
had to have talent. And I don't feel like you gotta have that now.
So check this out, right? His first mixtape,
2017.
Before
When was it?
Fame, 20 April of 2015.
2015. Okay, okay. So I give him 10 years. I give him 10 years.
Yeah,
Still,
so
that's like 3.8 albums a year, bro. That's too much.
right. Yeah, man.
That's too
Yeah.
much.
See, and I thought a Future dropped too quickly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, man, it's like I'm about quality, man. Like would I want another Jay-Z album? Sure. But
Yes.
is it going to be a good album? You know what
You
I'm
know
saying?
what?
It's going to
Let me ask you this, and this ties in perfectly to this. You want another Jay Z album? I also want another Jay Z album. Would you want 400 Jay Z songs in the next 2 years? No. 400? No. I don't need one new Jay song every 4 days, bro,
nah.
or one Jay song a week. I don't need that.
Right.
I would
Yeah.
rather him put out a quality album, 10 to 15 songs, and just do that once every few years. That's all I need.
That's
I think
it.
that's
Yeah.
the perfect
Yeah.
combination. I think that's the perfect ratio of, put out music. This is your art. You put it out, but then you
Mhm.
disappear for a little bit and you live life and you have new experiences. You recharge your
Right.
batteries. You start
Hmm.
writing again after a year or two, and then you put out something else that's beautiful. That whole artistic element of it is being lost.
Oh yeah.
It's being lost.
Yeah.
It's being lost. I will say this though, and then we could you could definitely move on too.
Hmm.
I like the fact that the artists who really take the art serious, who really put out cohesive projects, they're the ones that have staying power. And we just saw that with the Clips album from last month. The Clips ain't put out an album since what, 2013?
About
No, it's
14
before that
years.
probably.
Hmm.
2000, I think it's been 15 years. Maybe 2010 that he put out
Hmm.
an album. They put out a body of work after 15 years, and it's the
Hmm.
best rap album of the year.
Hmm.
Hands down, best
Hmm.
rap album of the year.
Right. Right.
Quality over quantity.
I agree. I agree because, people are saying that about them is when they was doing the rollout, everybody was like glazing them. You know what I'm saying? And, to a degree, yes, there was some glazing. However,
Healthy glazing.
however, if the album was not good at that point, you know, it would be, well, at first I thought this, but when I play it again, it's not really all that.
Yeah.
This album is getting so many good looks on it. There's a lot of engagement around it. And still to this day, you know, them dudes continue to market their album, which is what a lot of artists don't do now. Like once the album comes out,
Like that's
and
it.
maybe the first videos, that's it, it's on to the next thing.
Mhm.
Let it do what it does, right? But they keep on dropping content around it. They're still doing interviews. They're still talking to people. They're still doing posts. They're still interacting with their fans on this album. And that's special whenever you have a good product. Whenever you have a great product. Now, I'm trying to sound like a D-boy. Whenever you have a great product, you don't step on it with some other
I'm gonna
shit.
tell on you. I already told you that, nigga. Your Honor. Look at him. He has a clip shirt on. Obviously, he sells loads of
Yes.
cocaine. It was him. I'm pointing you out in court, my nigga. Just don't let me see it. Don't let me see it.
Right. Right. But no,
Absolutely.
I mean, again, man, when it comes to music, it's just it's different. And we have to adapt to a degree. Some people may still want to a lot of us in our age bracket is still stuck on the 90s music or maybe the 2000s. It's like nothing will ever be better than what we don't grew up
I gotta
on.
push back on
So
that
I
though.
can't play
I'm gonna push
this
back a little bit.
bullshit.
Pause. I'm gonna push back on
Hmm.
that a little bit though. I think that with the times, because you know what, like I gotta, because you know me, I try to be even, Steven. I try to be objective. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That's why I hate this whole gender wars thing that you see all over. Well, I think, oh, a real woman shouldn't do this. Well, you know, men should like, okay, shut up, okay,
Yeah.
because none of y'all are objective. None y'all just arguing your side of it or what makes you feel good. You have no care for the other side at all. You're not trying to be in the middle. You're not trying to be objective. Shut up. I would say this because I have my moments, my get off the porch moments too. You know what I'm saying? My old man moments. Like, nah, this ain't it. Because I remember when we was coming up, the old heads was like, this rap, that ain't enough. That ain't music. You think that's music? Then they'd go and get like a record and it'd be like, Earth, Wind, or Fire or something to put
Right.
on. I would say this though. It made us respect that other music, number one.
Hmm.
Number two, it made us have an appreciation for what came before. Because hip hop, especially in the 90s, shout out to Jay Dilla, shout out to Premier,
Yeah.
shout out to Wu Tang.
Hmm.
They would sample music from the 70s. They would sample music from the 80s. That's what put me on to Bootsy Collins. That's what put me on to Marvin Gaye. Listening to hip hop in the 90s and 2000s because they was
Hmm.
sampling that old stuff. And it made me go back and listen to the old stuff. And now, okay, I like the rap, but now I also like the soul that was sampled in the rap. And I
Right.
feel like now, because again, you don't have to have that certain level of talent. Like you don't got to be able to play an instrument. You don't got to be able to sing good. You don't got to be able to write intricate lyrics now. You just have to have the look. If you have the look, you can get on.
Hmm.
So it's a little bit different now. So I feel like when I have an old man moment now, it's because I appreciate intricate hip hop that not everybody can do. Everybody can't rap like J. Cole. That is special. Everybody can't
Exactly.
rap like Jay. Go back and listen to Reasonable Doubt. This man, it came out when he was 26. He probably wrote it 20 when he's 24 years old.
Right.
What 24-year-old person that you know now is rapping about living that street life, but it's so intricate? He's ahead of his time. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Like he's speaking and thinking of in a way that you would have to be 35, 45 to be, but he was doing it at
Right.
22, 23 years old. So I feel like now it's like it's not that I don't like it just because it's new. I don't like it because it's so watered down. It's a
Hmm.
rap now is a caricature of what it used to be. You
True.
see what I'm saying? Just like those caricature artists, if you got a big
Big
nose, they're
ass
gonna draw your
head.
nose
Yeah.
huge. Like it's gonna take up half of the paper. And I feel
Mm.
like that's what rap is. It's the skeleton, it's the outline of it,
Right.
but there's nothing in the middle. Pause. There's no substance to it. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So it's a little bit different, but it is what it is. I think at the end of the day, to make a long story longer, at the end of the day, if you talented, your stuff is gonna last. And if you don't got talent, you're gonna be hot for a minute and then it's gonna be out. I look at not
Mm.
saying Uzi ain't talented, but I'll look at somebody like Uzi. 5 years ago, Uzi was everywhere.
Yeah.
Where's Uzi now? As
Right.
far as just being hot, I'm pretty sure he got a core,
Oh yeah, for
but
sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
And yeah, man, I mean, it's like my son likes uh Travis Scott like a lot. Loves him. But he also likes Kendrick. His favorite album from him is To Pimp a Butterfly. So when I heard that, and he's 14, my Negro spiritual self felt so relieved that he loves good hip hop music,
Yeah.
because prime example, perfect segue. When Drake dropped his Iceman Part 3 a couple of days ago, I heard the song he did with Yeet. And let me tell you, man, I don't know what's wrong with Drake. It's like he is purposely making music for that demo. Like Yeet sounds terrible to me, but apparently he's really popular with the kids. And kids don't quite have that ear just yet. They're
Yeah.
going off of vibes, and it don't really matter what the people are saying, as long as it has some type of cadence, if it's familiar, and if it's vibey. You know what I'm saying?
He's a
And
hoe. That's why. That's why he's doing it. He's a
it,
hoe.
it's
He's a
just
hoe. Because you know what? And this is why I have to pick my battles on the internet. This is why,
okay.
like, I have to catch myself. Like, I'll be about to type in the comments because, like,
Hmm.
no, that ain't it. Let me tell you what. Then I gotta catch myself and realize some people just gonna be ignorant. And I can't fight everybody's ignorance. Too much ignorance out there for my intelligence to override everybody's ignorance.
Right.
It's impossible. So this is what I mean. There were Drake apologists who said that Drake should be held in a high regard, a high esteem,
Hmm.
because Drake puts other people on. Kendrick don't really put nobody on. Drake puts people on. He works with artists. Why is my
Hmm.
nose itching? Like, God dang.
You know why?
That booger
Because it's
sugar.
the hate,
It's that
the
booger.
hate just
Drake makes my nose itch. It was like he puts people on. Look, he did a song with Migos before Migos blew up. He did
right.
a song with this person before this person blew up. And look, he's putting people on. Drake, out of the goodness of his heart, is putting on these artists that nobody knows about. Nigga, no. Drake is riding waves to try to make
Mhm.
Drake more popular
Right.
because he's a pop artist.
Hmm.
Pop stands for popular. He
Hmm.
wants to ride whatever wave is going to be popular. And he's been doing it for 15 years now. They act like he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart. He's like, oh, you know what?
Hold on.
You from
Wait.
Toronto, I'm from Toronto. I see you working hard, nigga.
Hold
I'm about to
on.
put you on this song and we about to. No! He's doing it selfishly.
You're
Why
gonna make me
can't
do
people
it,
see
man.
that?
You're gonna make me do it, man.
Like,
I
come
don't.
on.
You're gonna make me cake for Drake, man. And I don't want to.
Hey, no, ain't no way.
I don't want
You
to,
can't
man. But
convince me. You
I
can't
gotta give him
convince me.
some bell, man.
Come on, go ahead. Come on.
All right, man.
Let
All
me hear
right.
this.
All right, man.
While I
So
scratch my nose, because Drake make my nose itch.
Drake came out around 2010, right?
Yes.
Around 2010, right? All right.
Around that time.
First mixtape, you know, great mixtape, singing and rapping, doing both, auto tune like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But it sounded good. My boy Mike went on to Drake early on, right? Ever since then, he was rapping, and he was on songs with, Bun B and Lil Wayne and Nicki and French Montana and Rick Ross, but he sounded like him. He did. And it was like that for years. But at some point, and I gotta do my research, it might have been right around when the Migos came in. Yeah, around when the Migos came in, where he's like, you know what? I'm tired of rapping. I want to go ahead and sound like everybody else that's out there right now. So I want to sound like the Migos. I want to sound like Yeet. I want to sound like Little Baby. I want to sound like Lil Durk. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's like the perfect chameleon, but he does it so much that he no longer have that the old Drake mentality of do right and kill everything. Now it's more of I'm fine with just, being a part of the pack. Even though he's still the superstar, you know what I'm saying? He's not he- to what you're saying now, it's just he's a whole different beast right now because he's so popular. I feel like as if he can't go back to what really made him pop like that. Now he's too focused on my sound has to be so accessible. I gotta do what the kids like. And that shit is garbage.
I feel okay. I think that's part of it because I don't think as an artist, well, as an artist, you can do whatever you want to do. It's your
Of
art.
course, of
But
course.
I feel
Yeah,
like if you want to be successful, you have to change with the times. That's why if Jay-Z hops on a song now, 2025, he's not going to sound like Reasonable Doubt Jay because that
of
was 30
course.
years ago,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That's understandable.
Mm,
That's it. To me, that's just growth as an artist. But what I'm talking about specifically is Drake hopping on, or I should say, putting the people he puts on songs or he collaborates with. He's
mm.
not doing it from some type of altruistic inclination that he has to put people on.
Okay.
He's doing it because that other person is popular. He's riding their coattails. That's why I call Drake a hoe. And that's what I don't like. And I don't like
Okay.
the attitude that some people have, the Drake apologist is like, you know what? Drake is just putting people on out of the goodness of his heart. No,
Mm.
nigga, he's putting on other artists who are bubbling up
Right.
for his own selfish reasons. It has
Okay.
nothing to do with being altruistic.
Okay.
Cause he a
I mean,
hoe. That nigga's a hoe, bro.
listen,
Just a hoe.
on the way to Atlanta, we were playing like old Drake stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, damn,
You missed it, don't you?
I miss this Drake.
You missed
And
that.
then my girl was like, he ain't changed.
I'd have stopped the car.
Wait
I'd have like I'd have put my foot
a
through the
minute. Wait a
bottom of the
minute.
car like Fred Flintstone. What?
Yeah, and then she was saying, you just hated on him. I said, what? I said, okay, first of all, we were going to disagree on this wholly, but the Drake from then until now is completely different. He made some joints back then, you know what I'm saying? And the music that he's making now is not for us, and that's okay.
Nothing wrong
That's
with that.
okay.
Nothing
You
wrong
know what
with
I'm
that.
saying? I can cherish what we had when we had them. Now that the world has them, he has to make worldly music. And it's not to the caliber of what he did put out. I think it's feasible. I think it's fast food. The shit that he done dropped out recently, normally he would go number one or it would be played until the end of the summer. That shit ain't being played. The song he came out with Central C a month or two ago. Where is it? Where is it? I don't see no
What did I
quotes about
miss?
it. I don't see no
What did I
TikToks about
miss?
it, no Instagram about it. I don't see niggas like, yo, play that shit up in the club, yo. I want to hear that shit. No,
Yeah.
don't hear it nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So the power of Drake is still there. Yes, he's still one of the biggest artists out there. But as far as what made him so great, it ain't there no more, man. And you could call him a hoe. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call Drake the man that once was.
100% hoe. 100% hoe. But you know what? Here's the thing though,
Okay.
and then I'll leave it alone. Be a hoe, but be a self-aware hoe. Like I feel like
Okay.
you should know that you a hoe.
Hmm.
If you know that the only thing that you're giving in this relationship is the physical aspects of it.
Right.
That man don't try to take you on no dates.
Mm.
That man ain't never met your parents.
Mm.
You ain't never met that man parents.
Mm.
He ain't trying to move you in his place.
Mm.
Every time y'all get together, you just go to a hotel.
Right.
He sees you as a hoe. Okay? And if he sees you as a hoe, you have two options. Either be okay with that
True.
or say, you know what? I want more. I'm going to end this. Drake is not a self aware hoe.
Mm.
That's why he got into it with Kendrick Lamar last year. If
True.
it's
True.
think about it, G. If there was one artist is active. We ain't gonna put no legends in it, no retired legends. But
Okay.
one artist is active that a pop rap artist who, granted, is at the top of the charts
Mm-hmm.
could not hope to F with in a battle and win. If there was one artist that I would say, you know what, you're in a lose-lose situation
Mm-hmm.
because if you beat the person you supposed to beat them, you're the number one guy on the charts.
Right.
If you lose to the person,
Mm-hmm.
dang, you lost and you're not as popular as you used to be. One
Mm-hmm.
artist that he should not mess with, and that would be Kendrick. He would
Mm-hmm.
have had a better shot at going at J. Cole. Because you know why? Because I don't think J. Cole would have been like going for the juggler. I don't think J.
Nah.
Cole would have had 20 songs to fire off. I think J.
Nah.
Cole would have made two or three songs.
Yeah.
It would have started not feeling right to him. Like, you know what? I ain't even about this negative energy. I'm about to
Yeah.
go burn some sage. You know what I'm saying?
By the bike.
I'm gonna ride a bike. I'm gonna get some new Nike slides that's comfortable because
Yeah.
this is what I like to wear. And I'm gonna just enjoy my life.
Mm-hmm.
He picked the fight with the one person who was talented enough, had the cachet, and was also just a little crazy enough to pull out 30, 40 diss songs. Because I don't
Right.
believe for a second that Kendrick ain't had like 5 or 6 more songs in the clip. I don't
Oh,
believe that for a second. I
I'm
just
sure
feel
he
like
did.
when he put out Not Like Us, it was such a
Mm-hmm.
knockout punch.
Right.
Why put out these other 5 or 10 diss songs? You know what I'm saying? And he did it. Drake did it because he's not a self-aware hoe. And now we see Drake is where Drake is at now.
I'm gonna tell you what's wild, what's wild too, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that the beef is still carrying on to a degree, and he still talks about it or makes shots at it. Boy, he won't talk about it in depth, but he's taking shots at the whole thing. And
Hmm.
mad people show their skin. You know what would solve all of that?
What?
A hit. And he hasn't had a hit in a long time. A hit will make people forget so quickly about all the bullshit. They will love him again. I mean, you still got the Drake stands, the Drake dick sippers. You know what I'm saying?
Dick
You
Sipper
get
is crazy.
yes,
Who sips dick? Who's sipping dick? Like, dick. Like, who
Drake.
is
Mm.
who is sipping? That's crazy.
Yeah, man. I
That's
mean,
crazy.
you get all of them that Drake can do no wrong, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's what a stand is. You know what I'm
Real
saying?
quick though. I ain't it kind of weird though if you now granted, if you was a gay dude, understandable. But if you call yourself a straight dude, caping for Drake, it seems weird to me. Like you feel like he can do no wrong. You ain't gonna find many fans of Kendrick Lamar bigger than me. Big Kendrick Lamar fan. But you
Hmm.
ain't gonna never hear me say something if Kendrick Lamar gets on stage or goes somewhere or does some sucker type ish, then I ain't gonna be like, well, that was kind of messed up. Why you do that? Like, again, it's like almost like a sexual thing. Like, and again, if you a
Hmm.
gay dude, cool. Cool.
I
Like
mean,
you like him more than just his music. Like you wish you could be with him intimately. So I understand that. That would be understandable for you to cape like that. But if you're not taking it there,
mhm.
how is this man can is it that this guy can do no wrong in your eyes? And you're a whole 35, 45 year
Right.
old
Yeah.
caping for another like I don't under it is beyond me.
It could be that, but I think it's just more of people need a mental health check. Again, I go
That
back to
too.
Eminem's stand. That Eminem created stand, and that shit is now a fucking
It's a
word in
thing
the
now.
Webster dictionary. You know what I'm
It's a
saying?
whole what is it? Adjective? Yeah, adjective.
Right.
Yeah.
And it describes people that are mentally fucking ill because they think that this artist either owes them something, knows them personally, or they need to be like in their skin on some serial killer shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's no matter which way you spin it, it's just fucking weird to be in this stand culture that we're in right now, where whatever artist that you like or love the most, it's like they can't do no wrong in your eyes. It's like they are above any type of criticism, that if anybody, like matter of fact, this is a story. I don't know how true it is, but it's funny as hell. Some dudes online on Twitter was debating about Kendrick and Drake, and they're going ham on the keyboard. One
Yeah.
has said, "Fuck it, meet me at a restaurant so we can talk about it." Dude said, "I bet I'm gonna meet you at so and so place." He said, "Bet." The dude goes there to the restaurant, and he was to Drake's stand, and he's waiting like, "Yeah, I'm here, nigga. Where you at?" "Oh, nigga, I'm coming." He waits 3 hours. Nobody shows up. And it's like, where are we as a society that we want to get into verbal or physical altercations because I like this person more than the other person?
It sounded like he was asking him on a date. That's what it
It's
sounded like. Cause wait a minute. Cause when I was coming up, it was like, all right, oh, that's what it is. That's what we doing. All right, meet me outside. Cause we
right.
can't mess up mom's good furniture if we in the house, or
Hmm.
you can't fight in the school because the teacher's gonna break it up. Meet me on the playground. Meet me
Right.
outside.
Yep.
Whole DMS. Meet me outside. No.
Yeah.
Meet me at a 5-star restaurant, nigga.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nigga, let's go to Roof Chris and see, and we're gonna
And
see who was right.
and we're going to debate who had the best bars between Drake and Kendrick.
While look into your eyes and eat steak,
and
delicious and
and
delicious
lamb.
pies and
Roasted
stuff. Like,
lamb, you know what I'm
come
saying?
on, bro.
Come
Like
on,
this,
man.
people is weird. People is weird. The internet has exposed us to a lot of people just being their actual, authentic, weird
Yes,
selves.
yes, yes. You know what's funny, man? We had a whole list of things that we want to talk about. We didn't talk about hardly none of that shit. Just out the window. That's great part of
What
though,
it is,
man.
man.
That's
That's what you're going to get on the Geek Salad podcast.
yeah,
We come
man.
in with a plan, man.
That's great
But
conversation.
stuff is liable to go off the rails. Especially when we
Mhm.
start talking about hip hop. Like it is what it is, bro. Cause we're
There's a
gonna
hip
give you
hop, man.
our
Yes.
perspective.
Yeah,
Unfiltered,
man.
uncut.
Hmm. It's
100
just, I
proof.
mean, to going back to it, man, it's sad. It's like, Drake doesn't run rap. Like, there's a show called Backfield, and this nigga was, I guess, I forgot old boy's name, but he was like, "Yo, you heard the clips? Your man's on a clue." Who's like, "Man, I can't be wasting my ears to this music." But you critique music, but you don't listen to music. You're the worst type of nigga I want to hear from. And then he goes on to say, like, "Yo, when Drake was out, he brought out the bitches. He brought out the people. Like, we need Drake out here in the streets." I'm like, you sound like a dick sucker. You know what I'm saying, man? A
Definitely,
certified dick sucker. And it's like,
definitely dip sipping
I
activity.
mean, okay, Drake is very fucking popular, but do you know who else is popular too? Bad Bunny. That nigga is fucking global, dog. You know what I'm saying, man? Psst. I don't understand what the nigga be saying, even in his accent and broken English, but I do recognize that motherfucker right there with his bisexual self. That nigga is fucking global. That nigga has a fucking tour or concert in Puerto Rico for the past month. And the shit is like sold out every single fucking time he performs it, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like, yo, I don't want to hear shit about, Drake being like the end all of music. There is other artists out there which is just as big or bigger than Drake. Drake isn't the epitome of all that there can be in hip hop. Is he one of the best that we got? Yes, but he is not going to be the bar forever at this
I
point.
think I think too, just to take it back in time a little bit, I think it's a perfect Jay-Z and 50 Cent situation where
Mm,
50, it's ironic because I don't know who 50 was talking about, but it was some artist that 50 didn't think had bars, and he was like, "Yo, nobody has listened to this album or a song by this guy and be like, oh, that was bars." I don't know who, I forget who he was talking about, but I
mm,
was like, yo, it's kind of ironic because listening to old 50 Cent. I don't ever remember some memorable. Why is it so hard to say? Memorable bars by 50 Cent where you be like, oh, he killed that. Oh, bars. He went off. I think 50 Cent as a rapper is just solid. I think he's just a solid
Yeah,
rapper. But he
yeah,
put out two albums, one album which is probably top 10 of all time, and
yes,
then a second
yes.
album that was
Not
good.
as good, right?
But it's like Jay-Z doesn't have one album that touches 50 Cent's best album as far as his record sales.
Mhm.
But he's put out consistently good music. How many Jay-Z quotables like can you just rattle off? It's funny. Like there's a Jay-Z quotable for every situation
Everything.
in life. It's that we're gonna do that. That's gonna be a segment of the show too. Just like
Mhm.
what Jay-Z line fits the situation perfectly.
You know what's
We're gonna
funny?
we're gonna do that. We're gonna
You know
do
what's
that.
funny? You know how people will use Sun Tzu's Art of War for almost any situation?
Yeah.
It's like Jay-Z's lyrics. There's a lyric
The
for
Book of
any
Hove.
type of situation. You know what I'm saying? And that's just to me that is a relatable thing that you can like grasp to. Now back to your 50. Love 50, what he brought early on in his career. Granted, he ain't the most lyrical dude, but damn, the cadence, the music, the sometimes you hear the aggression, like, sometimes you be like, this shit hard. It's just,
Mhm.
it's hard. Like Young Jeezy. Young Jeezy wasn't the most lyrical, but his shit was just hard and it flowed. You know what I'm
So you
saying?
felt it. You felt it.
You
And
felt
I
it,
get
right?
that. I get that because
Yeah.
he's giving you his real life. He was
Hmm.
really doing this stuff. So it's entertaining on a different level. But it's like for as much as 50 has accomplished and as much success he has had off his first couple of albums, he
Right.
will never be considered in the same breath as Jay-Z as far as hip hop history. Like he just won't because it would be better to be a B plus artist, and you can show me you a B plus artist over 20 years consistently than you to be an A plus artist, but you only do that for like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
It to me, it's
Yeah.
harder to be a B plus and be a B plus artist consistently. And I think Jay's is higher than a B plus, but his longevity, his staying power has been phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? To the point where shoot, we would anticipate a J album now. I would love to hear a J album now.
Yeah.
Can't
Same.
say the same for 50 Cent. I would if 50 dropped the album, I would give it a listen,
Oh yeah.
but I wouldn't be
Yeah.
anticipating it
For
half as
sure.
much as Jay.
Yeah, man. I mean, music is streaming has a lot to do with just the bar in music. 'Cause I guess for
Mhm.
artists, it's probably easier for them to make some money off of streaming and just putting out so much bullshit out there to stream. Um, but yeah, man, it's just weird, you know what I'm saying, overall. I'm gonna tell you who don't have a problem with that. Chris Brown. I saw that nigga in Atlanta last
Yeah.
weekend. Yo, that dude right there, like I can understand why people love his music. This nigga was dancing, singing, backflipping, breakdancing, popping, crumping, sliding for 3 hours straight and ain't break not one note. You know what I'm saying? I
Man,
mean,
listen.
that
That's
boy
why
bad.
I don't know who said it, but it set off an online firestorm because everybody got their opinion. But I think it's true. Chris Brown, when you're talking about just talent as far as
Right.
singing and dancing,
Yeah.
has more talent than Michael Jackson. Just singing and dancing. I'm
Right.
not saying musically because
Yeah.
Mike, his knowledge of music might be better. He might be a
Mhm.
better songwriter.
Okay.
He might because I've seen Mike just I don't know if he how many instruments he played, but he could go and tell the bass player this is what I want. He could go and tell
Yeah.
the keyboard player this is what I want. He can
Yeah.
tell the background singers, look, I want to be singing in this key. Y'all gonna be singing it like he could a composer. That's what
Yeah.
Mike had the ability to do. I don't know if Chris Brown can do that. So I'm not saying overall in music he's more talented,
Mhm.
but just the two elements of singing and dancing, I don't think Mike is touching Chris with either though. Let's take dancing, okay? I
Mhm.
think anything that Mike could do dancing wise, I think Chris could do. But I
Better,
don't think the opposite is true.
better.
I don't
Okay.
think that Mike could do everything. I ain't seen Mike do no flip, man.
Right.
Maybe he can, maybe he can't. I ain't seen it. I don't
And
know.
to a degree, Mike kept doing the same dance moves every so often. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He would do the robot, but the smooth shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Mike is great. Don't get me wrong, but you're right.
great.
I don't think Mike can do the crump, can do all this shit that niggas have done over the years. You know
Can't
what I'm
can't
saying?
really say that though, because some of the stuff wasn't out when Mike was young. So it's like I can't fault him.
True,
It's like I
true,
can't fault,
true.
Larry Bird for not having a crossover. Niggas weren't really doing crossovers in the 70s, man. Like the little Iverson, like I can't fault Larry Bird for not having that because it was kind of before his time.
I get you.
But I will say Chris Brown seems he's more athletic and that he
Right.
can do more dancing wise. Underrated part of Chris Brown's repertoire, his singing ability. Chris
Yes.
Brown can really sing.
He can sing.
He can really sing.
He can
Is he
sing.
Brian McKnight? No. Is he Luther Vandross?
No.
No.
Right.
But he sounds really good. Mike sounds good to an extent, man, but I don't know that his raw voice is as strong as Chris Brown's raw voice.
Good
I don't
point.
know.
Good point.
That's up for debate.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. Like the amount of songs that he ran through that night, dog, man. Like Chris
He been
Brown
rocking for
was
20 years.
exactly 20 years since he was like 17, 16. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And yo, man, like he has so
He's a
many
man
songs
on the
about
floor.
about everything. He
Yeah.
and he has so many different sounds. He can go, ratchet R&B, straight R&B. He can do pop. He can do dance. He can do hip hop. He can do alternative. You know what I'm saying? He has so many chambers like Wu-Tang. But it's also effortless when it comes to him. And I gained so much more respect for him that night. I'm like,
Yeah.
look, man. Before I was like, he's saying the same shit every album. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
remember when he did like, them 30 and 40 plus songs on like every album? I'm like Chris Brown. I can't sit through 40
I
fucking
don't want to
songs,
hear
man.
30
I
song Chris
can't
Brown
about
album.
30 songs.
No.
I can't do it. But now I'm like, you know what? I might have to go back because he got some joints that I forgot
Chris got
about.
joints.
He got some
Chris got
joints, man. You know
I
what I'm
think
saying? So, hey, man,
I think
it's
part of it is he's kind of a victim. Well, he's a victim of circumstance, with the whole Rihanna thing. That kind of put a hamper on.
oh yeah,
So
for
some
sure.
people ain't even just gonna give him a chance. So this happened. This man was like 19. Not excusing it, but come on, like honestly. Number one, but then number two, I think he's kind of a victim of the time that he came out. I think if he came out talented as he is now, but put
Mhm,
him like in the mid 90s or something, I think we start looking at him through a different lens because
mhm.
we think when you think Chris Brown, if you're somebody that's our age, with people that are older than Chris Brown,
Okay.
you don't see him as a legend now. You kind of just see him as the guy who's the it guy now. But when
Okay.
it's somebody like Usher, you see them as a legend who also, still would put out stuff from time to time. But I think if Chris Brown came out, like say he was Usher's age, he came out around the time Usher came out, I think the way that we view him would be different.
I
Because
don't.
he's been consistently putting out hits and doing his thing for 20
Yeah.
years now.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
This might be a hot take, man. I love Usher.
Yeah,
We grew up with Usher. He's around our age now. But when I take a step back and I compare both of them,
yeah,
I'm giving an edge to Chris Brown. It's just, it's just, you know, Usher was so pivotal in our lives coming up. Like we grew up when he was going through confessions. And you know what I'm saying?
hmm
When you look at Chris Brown's, rise, and I'm assuming even with people that grew up with him, they might feel the same. But when I really look back and look at the bodies of work between both of them, not only does Chris Brown just has more, but I think Chris Brown has had so many different hits and
Yeah,
different genres that just stick. If it wasn't for him hurting Rihanna, like I wish that day never happened. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like if that day never happened, he would be out of here. You know what I'm
I
saying?
agree.
He would be to the moon, Saturn, Pluto, and never coming back.
In
You know
fact,
what I'm saying?
I would take it a slight step farther. Had it not been for Usher's Confessions, if we could live in an alternate universe where
Mm,
Confessions doesn't happen, Usher
okay,
still got everything else Usher got, but
right.
there's no Confessions. I'm willing to put Chris Brown over Usher
Good
like
point.
in a landslide,
Good point. Yeah,
because
yeah,
Confessions, bro.
yeah. I mean, Confessions is I I think one of the best albums, period,
Woo!
of all time.
It's up there.
All time.
It's
It's
up
in the
there.
top
Confessions,
10,
man.
maybe 15, maybe top 20 albums of all time.
Bruh,
Period.
if you was outside in your early 20s when Confessions came out, man, you was living that life, bro. You was living
Mm.
the life. Because we was the last generation that really went to the club when the club was cool, where it wasn't just who could buy a $3,000 section and
Right.
the $200 hookah and
Everybody on the phones in the club doing this shit
all of
in the
this, either on
club.
the phone or taking
Yeah.
pictures on the phone. Nobody's interacting. Nah, when we was out there, the dudes was like stepping the girls, man. You was
Yeah.
dancing with men actually was dancing with women. It's just a foreign concept now, but
Right.
back then it was actually happening. And I feel like we was the last generation to really embrace that. Like now,
Hmm.
nobody, yo, I mean, I wouldn't go to the club no way no more. It's not my thing. I don't really want to do it anymore. I've been there, done that. Got
Right.
tired of seeing the same old people every weekend. I'm done with that. But I definitely wouldn't want to go now just because is it like you said, it's just everybody's on their phone now. You can't even really network for real, you
You know
know?
what?
Like
I want to go. I just want to be the fly on the wall just to see how much it has changed from
yeah,
when I last went to now. Like, 'cause, I see online it's always mad people, just standing, either like you were saying, smoking hookah on their phones, doing the newest TikTok dance. You might have that one cute girl that's dancing by herself, but everybody else is just sitting down looking dumb as shit while the song is going on, but she's like the main one dancing, sexy as hell. But that's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to see like a whole night from beginning to end, how the club scene looks like now compared to then, just so,
yeah.
just so I can be the old man. Like you see, y'all missing out. Y'all missing
Niggas
out.
ain't built like we was built, bro. These young boys ain't built like we was built. Remember the look back test when you go up and you start dancing behind a chick and she be like, it's like if she looked back and then she like moved away from you, she thought you was ugly. But if she looked back and she just kept on dancing, like, yeah, she think I'm
Yeah,
sexy. Or at
yeah,
least think I'm good enough to what I'm saying, look good enough to dance with or whatever.
yeah.
Dudes nowadays is like, oh my God, it's like they're scared of women.
Man, that is not a.
Wow.
It's sad, man. It's
It's
sad.
really, it's really
It's
sad.
sad.
Like,
Damn.
bro, what is she gonna do? Like, she can't do nothing but say no. Niggas out like she gonna take a picture of you, go get a t-shirt made, and put your face on the t-shirt. Like, this nigga tried to talk to me. He with his lame man. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody doing
Yo.
all that, nigga. Like, what's
Oh
I don't
man.
know, bro. It's
Listen,
it's
man.
crazy.
If you're under 30, just know that we some old head niggas that had
Who remember a better
experience.
time? You know what I'm saying?
We had experience in this realm of clubbing. And what y'all niggas doing now, it ain't nothing compared to all the ass that was up in our laps back then. You know what I'm saying? It's a different world, man. I wish I could see that. I wish there was a time machine where you could hop in and bitch. and just go to the clubs back in the 2000s and see the fun that we had back then with women that actually wanted to dance with somebody. And then what I'm
Well,
saying, or that wanted to talk to somebody in a club. Like I remember the let outs, the let outs were always phenomenal before the cops came. That's when niggas was trying to grab every number they can by the end of the night. And if
mhm.
somebody called back, it's game on. You know what I'm
They
saying?
would never know the joy
Woo.
of going into the club
It's different.
with a super long, fresh white t-shirt on. And then by the time you left out,
Oh man.
that t-shirt had glitter
Woo.
on it, uh, the
Mm.
Incredible Hulk drink that you spilled on yourself, and just
Mm.
sweat. That white t-shirt was never the same. You
Yeah.
couldn't do nothing but throw it in the trash. You could try to wash it. It would never be that white again because that
Right.
cheap body glitter was gonna be all over the shirt, bro. It's
Yeah.
all over the shirt. But you had the time of your life.
Yeah.
It was
Again,
worth it.
we did some old niggas reliving the past and
The old
hoping,
head hour.
we're just hoping the best for the future. You know what I'm saying? We're just hoping that people can actually dance again. That's all. And I don't mean TikTok dancing either. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying? I'm
God.
talking about grinding and damn near falling in love in the club. Usher
Mm.
song. Usher
Making
song.
love in the club is
You,
crazy.
you know what I'm saying? But
I
yeah,
don't care if
man.
everybody is watching, which is a lyric in the song. Ridiculous.
Hmm.
Making a
It
baby
was
in
a
the club
time.
is crazy.
It was a
Y'all
time.
gotta do better. All
Yes.
right, but I think we should go ahead and wrap it up there. Thank everybody for watching this episode of Geek Salad Podcast. Let us know, what are your memories from the early 2000s, if you have any. Did you have any
Yes.
cool nights in the club?
Hmm.
Put it in the comments. Let us know what topics you want us to cover next. Until next
Yes,
time,
sir.
I'm Arya the King.
I'm Big G, the bearded one.
Y'all be good.
Be good. Peace.
I don't care who's watching. Usher Nasty.
Here we go.
Good show, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yo,
And
we
you know
gotta do
what?
that J thing too, man. We
We
got we gotta
got
do
to.
it.
We got to, man.
We
I
gotta
think
do it.
I think
That's
I'm gonna start tomorrow
it's a
because that
J
shit really got
line for
me.
everything.
Yeah.
For sure.
That shit got me thinking, man, like, damn, there could be a fucking J line for every
J line
fucking
for
thing,
everything.
man. You know what I'm
But shoot, man,
saying?
I gotta use this bathroom, bro. Man, I'm gonna hit you up.
All right, man.
All right, man.